like Vortex, I know that you've listened to the same Clash album for the past several videos. Eventually we will find the CD booklet and we will put on the other Clash album, okay? I'm gonna trade the Clash for more Clash. The Clash doesn't clash with the Clash. No. No. They do not. Joe Strummer hated America so much. For reasons that I totally agree with. It just sucks that they had to be Marxists. You know? I don't really think that they were. Like, if Joe Strummer were alive today, I don't think that he would side with all of this bullshit. But then again, he might. You know, like, there's all kinds of stuff that people are siding with that doesn't make any sense. And I blame technology. Once again, I blame technology. I do not blame politics, because politics has always been extreme, and it's always been, you know, dog eat dog kind of attitude. Like, yeah, things are more polarized than they were, and you can blame Donald Trump, and you can blame the Democrat Party or the Republican Party, but what's in everybody's hand? What are people doing all the time? Like, I get that a lot of people, though, have, like, gotten off of social networks because they're realizing, like, how bad they are for their psyche. Congratulations. I'm glad you just figured that out. I shouldn't be mean about it, but I am mean about it just because it's, like, it's so obvious to me. But, you know, I can just see things that other people can't see. Especially, like, in relation to psychology, in relation to, like, the way that we're wired. It's just, like, really obvious that going on a website where you're, like, pretending that you're communicating with other people, and that communication is about politics, and that communication is about world events and stuff like that. Yeah, it's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get really, really ugly. And taking pictures of yourself and sending various hashtags and making posts about every single thing that you do, and spending all this time, like, just staring at a screen. Like, yeah, that's gonna be bad for you. I don't know, man. It's so obvious. But that's why we don't have one. We don't want a smartphone, because, like, we don't want to be caught up in that world, because it's a terrible world. It's not real. It's not real, y'all. It's not real. That's why, like, I don't buy all this, like, end of the world talk, because I think that it's really easy for people to make money off of that. It's easy for people to rope people into that, you know, that, what do you call it? Clickbait. Yeah, it's total clickbait. And unfortunately, like, everything is clickbait, you know? Like, that's the way that everybody behaves. Like, who's gonna pay attention to this? What can I say or do that's gonna make people pay the most attention? What can I say or do that's gonna validate me the most? What can I say or do that's gonna guarantee that I get the most likes? Or whatever. It's all fake. Like, the fact that people would willingly choose to participate in that proves that society is sick. And everything that society does just worsens their condition. It makes them more susceptible to falling into these traps. And with the internet, it's just, all the internet is a trap. I mean, it's called the net. It's a net. Nets capture things. Web. I mean, what do spiders do? What do spiders do? They catch prey. I mean, that's what everybody is. Everybody that's on the internet all the time, they're prey. They're prey to the devil. And they don't want to think like that because it's entertaining for them, or they think it's advancing them. It's advancing their social status, right? Whoever loves his life shall lose it. Remember that shit. A lot of people, they don't really read the scripture. So it's like people that go along with the world, they have enmity with God because they're not conscious, because it's not just about them. You know, back to what I always reference, 1 Corinthians chapter 8. You know, it's like if what you do could like negatively influence people to do that, but they don't understand it. They don't understand it the way that you understand it. But they're just doing something, they're not thinking about it because they're not conscious of these things, but you are. That's wrong. I don't know, I think about that like in relation to, you know, a lot of stuff that I do. Like am I a bad representation of the Holy Trinity? Am I a bad representation of what God is all about? It takes all kinds though, right? But I think the fact that I'm questioning myself and I'm concerned about that, you know, I think that that's probably a good sign. Rather than just like brushing it off and being like, oh, whatever, you know, we're all sinners. That's not supposed to be a fallback position, you know, like that's supposed to encourage you to do better. I mean, you shouldn't beat yourself up for being a sinner if that's the state that we're all in. And you shouldn't look at other people with disdain because they're obviously not in a good spiritual place if they're behaving in such a way that, you know, is causing other people to be stressed out or whatever. I was thinking about this in relation to my friend, and I just keep asking for forgiveness because I feel guilty, you know. Anytime I have bad thoughts about somebody else, even if those bad thoughts are warranted, even if that person's like obviously got psychological stuff going on, you know. Thank you. Love you, Chevrolet. Love you. Love that turn signal. It's so beautiful. But yeah, I know that I'm pretty hard on people, but it's like I just want people to do better, you know? I really do. And I want to do better. You know, if I'm, you know, lacking or slacking in any kind of way, you know, I want to improve on that. So, you know, I appreciate anybody giving me like positive, negative feedback. Okay? Constructive criticism is awesome. I wish that more people believed in that. But I think that the reason why people just tear each other apart is because they don't know how to adequately criticize themselves in a positive way. So why would they be able to do that with anybody else? If people are so insecure that they're just projecting and blaming everybody else for like the way that the world is, and it's like the world's always been messed up, man. And the world is messed up because people listen to Satan. They listen to the world more than they listen to their heart. I mean, how many people took that jab because of their work? Or because of their family? Look, if your family's telling you that you gotta be an experiment for the pharmaceutical companies, you don't have a good family. I don't care. Your family sucks if they're telling you that shit. I mean, if they're... And I know I'm speaking for my own family here, because they've attempted to lecture me, and I lectured them, which was kind of cool, actually. Well, because they're just not educated on that sort of thing. They're not up to snuff with spiritual stuff. So I can't really expect much. At least they're not like disassociating from me because of that. I'm grateful for that. But it's like the same families that want their kids or their parents or their siblings or whatever, like they want them to be on medication. They want them to be on medication so they don't have to deal with any of their stuff, you know? All the things that they experience on a daily basis. You know, their emotional instability or their crazy conspiratorial ideas. Like, they don't have to deal with that, you know, if that person's a zombie. If that person's on so many drugs that they don't talk. You know, that's so convenient. That's so convenient for parents that aren't parents, and, you know, family that doesn't actually love anybody but themselves. And I say that because the internet is available, okay? We all know that. We all know that the internet is available. Sorry, I gotta get my shoes. Glad y'all got to see my ass again. Whew. But yeah, we all know that the internet's available, so there's like no excuse for people to be so naive about all the things that they're naive about. Now, I understand though that, like, if you don't know how to use the internet, it's like, say, I'm trying to think of a metaphor where I could describe it correctly. I said the internet's like a library, and you have this whole building that's full of books on all these different subjects that could educate you on so many different things, and yet you still choose to keep reading the same book in the children's section, okay? That is what society does. Society is completely infantilized. Okay, my manager's yelling at me. I gotta go. But yeah, I mean, I've made this point before, but you know we'll make it again.